Hello and welcome to another Maximum Power video looking at another issue of Superplay. Today I'm going to be looking at Superplay issue 3 which is dated January 1993. It's obviously, as you can tell no doubt by the snow on the cover, around Christmas time, because like I said before with the magazines they were always involved with dated, January. They usually came out in December. So this one came with a 1993 year wall planner and poster, which sadly I've not got anymore. I have got some of the free gifts that came with the magazines, but sadly not this one. And they've classed it as a new owner's special. So again, as usual, fantastic artwork on the cover. Spider-Man, Chun-Li, R2-D2, well, quite popular at the moment. And I can't remember where the tiger's from. I'm sure hopefully one of you watchers will be able to tell me. So anyway, here we go. Different advert inside for this issue. Here we have got by Elite, Dragon Slayer and Joe and Mac Caveman Ninja. I've owned Joe and Mac now, which I picked up cart only for £4 recently, but I've still not actually played it on the SNES. But I have played it, like on other systems. So looking at this, we have got the contents pages. Again, just have yourself a Nintendo Christmas. Just going over to the news and welcome pages. Here we've still got Matt Belby. I'm probably pronouncing his surname wrong. If I am, I apologise. As editor there. And obviously, as usual, like I said on the last video, a little bit of information about each one of the staff. So we've got a bit of a small bit of news here on Super Star Wars, a game which has recently come out on PS4. So I'm absolutely awful at it, but it is a good game, but I do struggle on that game more than most. And then we've also got an advert here for Super Probotector. And then we've got a load of upcoming previews here. What have we got? Nosferatu, which a game I've never ever played. Oh god, I hardly recognise any of these. Oh, Batman Returns, fantastic scrolling beat 'em up. And down here we have got Tiny Toons Buster Bust Loose. Again, fantastic game. I think that's reviewed in a few issues. Anyway. Go on, so moving on, go on. We've got Dear Santa, it's Superplay's Christmas buying guide. So, I don't know if anyone actually remembers these. We've got a Boots Games Collector's card, so obviously more games you played, and you obviously got stamps and things to save a bit of money off your future buys. And then we've also got a few of the Super Nintendo bundles down there that were featured in, I think it was issue 1. And then there's also, which is best, it's basically the argument loads of people had when you were at school, Super Nintendo versus Mega Drive. I know my thoughts on it, it's definitely Super Nintendo, although the Mega Drive has got some absolutely fantastic games. And then a bit of advice buying from abroad here, so if you want to go for a Super Famicom or the American SNES. Anyway, moving on, a little bit here looking at a couple of third-party controllers. This one down here is one that my friend had, a bit of a see-through one. It wasn't that bad for a third-party controller, but it wasn't amazing either. Then we've got an advert here for what we've got free. What we've got here, the Superplay Reads Awards, so it's basically a chance to, cast your vote. What else? Worst thing to happen in the SNES market in 1992, best SNES driving game, strategy game, etc. Everything you'd expect to see. Moving on, we've got an advert here for Populous and Kickoff. Again, some more upcoming news. Sleepwalker. Super Nintendo, I don't think it came out as that. They did come out. They did bring out Eat the Cat, which was more or less a reskinning of it. But yeah, I remember that from the Amiga. The what's it called? The Comic Relief game. Moving on, we've got the Future Entertainment Show, 1992. So again, I'd love to have gone to something like that back in the day. I reckon it'd have been such a laugh. Again, more pictures from that. Then we have got, at last, Desert Strike coming out on the Super Nintendo, a game that I do own. And then also a little piece of news down here on issue 1 of Games Master, magazine that's still going now. You know, like all these years on, one of the few magazines that are still going. Again, the usual anime world. What else have we got? We've got the charts, as usual, like I said before, Japanese, American, the official charts, the UK import chart. Again, what else have we got? The special reserve advert quite early on in this magazine. And then we've got a Superplay interview, Eric Matthews. Is it from, oh God, who is it? I'm thinking, yeah, Bitmap Brothers, sorry, I thought I recognised the name. Apologies there. Then we have got a feature, well, CD-ROM, the future of Super Nintendo games, or Super NES games. So again, as we know, you know, it never actually came out. There was that prototype that was unearthed last year. So it's looking at all the different machines. So you've got the Sega Mega CD and the JVC Wonder Mega down here. You've got the Amiga CD TV. You've got the PC Engine CD-ROM, PC CD-ROM, CDI. Again, a lot of these didn't really do anything, but anyway, the feature goes on, looking at games like Seventh Guest and stuff like that. Yeah, quite a big feature, 5-page feature there. And then also you've got an advert here for Turtles in Time, a game that sells for a stupid amount of money. First review of the issue, Mickey's Magical Quest, a great game by Capcom, well worth playing, and it's not too expensive either. Rated at 89%, so you know, quite a good rating for it. It looks absolutely fantastic, even nowadays. You know, it is really, really nice. Definitely worth checking out. Then we've got Super Double Dragon, a game I've never really bothered with. 68%, but again, it's also quite a lot of money. This is an import review for Japanese and American. And then we've got Super Aleste. So again, quite a big review here, looking at quite a few of the different missions, well, the different levels I should say, sorry. And they've rated that 87%. It is in the Superplay Top 100. Going on a bit more, Cosmo Gang. Now, this is a game that was mentioned by Andy Palmer, who owns the arcade club over in Bury. I've never played it. It's been rated 70%. So I don't know if any of you guys have. Then we've got Kickoff. Not a great rating there, 52%. And then we've got a few really bad games. Well, we've one really bad game here. Looking at this, 34% for Home Alone. Slightly higher rated, Top Gear, 76%. And then we've got game Faceball 2000 with 54%. A game I've never played, and it's not something I'd actually fancy playing, to be honest. Although the Game Boy game I've heard is quite good. Anyway, then you've got the 2-page advert for Games Master, issue 1. And then you've got some Super Scope games, which are never really that great. So you've got the Battle Clash game, 48% they rated that. And then you've also got the Scope itself. They've individually rated every single game. So I think looking at this, the best rated one there, a whopping 49% with Mole Patrol. It's not great, it really, really isn't, but I think everyone knows that by now. And there weren't that many good games coming out for it. Next up, we've got this, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Not a bad RPG, it's quite an easy one to get through, rated 79% here. For anyone who's just getting into RPGs, it's definitely worth trying. You know, it's the sort of like, well, beginner's level really. Completed it fairly recently again, completed it as a kid as well back then. And then we've got Dragon's Quest 5, so quite a lot on that. And then we've got a guide here for Super Mario World, so again showing you all the different little hidden tips and everything like that. God, it really is a big guide. So loads on that, and then out to get to the Star Road as well. and how to beat the bosses. Then what have we got here? The Irem Skins game, so a golf game there, rated 83%, so not a bad rating if you're into golf. It's not the type of thing I'm really bothered about. Moving on, we have got Spider-Man and the X-Men Arcade's Revenge. I have played this fairly recently. Me and Phil did a comic book episode when we were both with Retro Asylum, so we played a load of comic book games. But I really wasn't impressed by it at all. It didn't make our lists anyway. And that's 72%. So again, there's a few different characters that you take control of, but I really wasn't impressed. Then we've got Qbert 3, 67%. Super Strike Gunner, 65%. Another advert down here for some import games. Then we've got James Bond Jr. Again, yep. THQ. Now THQ, when they came onto the scene for the Super Nintendo, they just brought out so many bad games. 29%. Anyway, then Pushover, which was also out on things like the Amiga and the ST. Quaver's tie-in game, 78%. Not that bad a game really. Then we've got Amazing Tennis, 80%, and then another THQ game, 32%, Home Alone 2. I saw this recently in Cash Converter. There's no way I'd ever want to own it. Race Driving, again, another THQ game, 35%. I know THQ went under a couple of years ago, you know, because they had the WWE licence, but their games were always so badly rated. And then we've got a guide here for Zelda Link to the Past. Again, like I mentioned in the last video, a guide that I used quite a bit. Another here for Total. And then we've got Game Freak, again, like with all your technical questions. And then the Ask AD, Mode 7 cheats. Some action replay codes always in there as well. And then you've got the playback, the letters pages. And I don't know if they'd started doing it by now. They started printing jokes. No, not quite. A bit later on, but I'll read out a couple of those jokes because some of them were awful. But I think if you got more than 5 out of 10, you got a free Superplay t-shirt. Someone will probably know the answer for that straight away, but I will get to that when it's first featured. Then What Cart has already changed by issue 3. Like I did say, it changed quite a bit over Superplay's lifespan. So we've got top 5 driving games here. Super Mario Kart, F-Zero, Top Gear. What else have we got? Super F1 Circus and F1 Exhaust Heat. And top 5 two-player games. Mario Kart, Street Fighter 2, Rampart, Super Tennis and Super Smash TV. Quite different as well. And then top 5 in-game music. So games for, you know, best music. Super Castlevania 4, ActRaiser, Legend of Mystical Ninja, Super Bowl Protector and Gradius 3. And then we've just got the usual subscribe page, just advertising a couple of back issues, and then all the adverts here for different importers and whatnot, and then the next issue page there. So there we have it, issue 3 of Superplay. I'll do Superplay Gold next because that came out around this time, and then obviously carry on from issue 4 and everything. Okay, again, if anyone who's commented on the other videos, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting. I hope you're enjoying them as much as I'm enjoying doing them. Again, if you get a chance, listen to the show, subscribe, rate us, helps us get noticed in the charts, and again, thank you for supporting us. I've been Paul, and I'll be carrying on with the Superplay series. See you soon. Bye.